Hi, I'm Sensitive New.
And I'm Skyreader Sherry. Welcome to our program.
And tonight we're going to be talking about how Jupiter is moving out of Aquarius into the sign of Pisces. So, Skyreader Sherry, what is it you really notice when Jupiter moves into Pisces?
Well, Pisces is the sign of imagination, media, spirituality. It is the sign of people that serve. And so as we have Jupiter come into the sign of Pisces, we see these things expanding, coming into focus. And with Jupiter, the keynote is don't overdo, because it tends to overexpand. Typically, in other signs and aspects, Jupiter only can expand until Saturn, to where there's limits. But when you get into Pisces, there is no end to the expansion, because it's imagination, it's drama, it's make-believe. There may be some great films coming out. There may be some great spiritual retreats coming up. There's a lot of different ways that this can manifest. It just depends on what's going on in an individual's chart, where it's happening in an individual's chart.
Right. So, Jupiter in general, it used to rule Pisces, correct? So, it's kind of a co-ruler. Before they discovered Neptune, Pisces was ruled by Jupiter, right?
It was ruled by Jupiter. Mm-hmm.
Right, which is kind of funny that Jupiter doesn't actually work well in Pisces.
Right, in Pisces.
I mean, really, the whole note of Jupiter in Pisces is unrestricted growth, which could, I mean, especially because Neptune has to do with illness. This, of course, could be issues like cancer. So this is something that could be more common at this time. Of course, Neptune is also alcohol and drugs, especially like hallucinogenics, weed. So there's definitely a potential for there being too much of that in the country, coming into the country, or people using too much alcohol or drugs. So there's definitely some risks to be aware of at this time. I mean, of course, it's also extremely spiritual because Jupiter rules Sagittarius and is a co-ruler of Pisces. And Sagittarius, of course, is religion, whereas Neptune is spirituality. And so there's this expansion in spirituality. So we could see a lot of people becoming more spiritual. Mm-hmm. However, there is also a potential that people might become very unrealistic.
Yes.
Because of this. They might not necessarily see things from a place that it can actually be applied in any way. So that's definitely a risk at this time. So it's really important to see, like you said, where this is happening in your chart so you can know where you need to kind of tone it down and pull back a little bit, because you're likely to overdo and go a little bit too far.
Yeah, I agree with that. And Jupiter in Pisces also can make people get to a point where they believe that they are a exalted person, or people can meet groups and believe that they are extremely exalted, and it's kind of worship of something that's not real.
Kind of when you like idolize a person.
Idealizing, that was the word I was looking. Idealize another individual or a system to the point that it realistically can't meet your expectations.
Right, and to a point it's kind of unhealthy as well, where it seems like.
Yeah. It's going to be whizzing through there, the sign of Pisces. It's going to be in Pisces from about 5 months before it heads off into Aries. So
that'll be super exciting. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk about when Jupiter moves into Aries. So we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.